today we're going to be having a little look at this. A little Pifco Pierrot and Snowman project that I couldn't find on the last video I did about these lights. So we'll go through this and see what we've been cooking. So a few months ago I went through a set of Dazzlite Pierrot and Snowman lights. They are also identical to the Pifco lights of the same name. Even the boxes are the same. The only difference is one says Dazzlite, one says Pifco. They're from the exact same factory, and it probably just proves the point that a lot of these lights were all made by one manufacturer and it was licensed out between different companies. So if you want to have a look at the previous video, there's a link up there. So I bought these, I can't even remember when, it's a few years ago. It's an unfinished project that, like a lot of things, got put to the sidelines. It wasn't in the best shape. I think I paid about £15 postage for it a few years ago. It came with the box and not much else. There were no lights included, it was just the Pierrot and Snowman figures. It's one of those projects that's been on the back burner, been meaning to get back into it. The pipe cleaner arms of the figures, there's a little stash of them here. As you can see, they weren't the best. It looked like some of the figures had been chewed by a cat. There were no lights with it, the lights weren't included, they'd long since gone. And I'm like, well, how do you restore something like this? Yes, you can get silk baubles, but these things, they are a polystyrene ball inside, and they're threaded over like silk baubles. Well, it's not something you see every day. Spin that back around. As you can see, this little guy had a little bit of damage here. And here you can see where it's been chewed. And there's another one here. Again, this one has more substantial damage. And what I did to restore these, because they were heavily faded, not so much the white ones, but the red ones had gone almost a gold colour with fade. And these were like a yellow, going quite yellow. You can just barely make out the colour it used to be in there. Unorthodox methods were used. But to restore these to their vibrant green colour, I coloured them over with a dry wipe marker pen from a whiteboard. Same for the red ones, I went over them with a whiteboard marker pen. And it does the trick, it restored the colour. Now this guy, his nose was dabbed a little bit, and the eyes were redotted with another marker pen. This one obviously lost half his face, so I did my best to draw it back on. Some of them have, this one's still got his ruff. These ones don't have ruffs, neither the Snowman, but the ruffs are in place. They just need tidying up a little bit. The pipe cleaner arms I replaced. I had pipe cleaners. I've put the white ones on the Snowman. I've put these like a beige coloured, cream coloured pipe cleaner on the green Pierrots. And on these ones, rather than the original like pink colour, I put these stripy ones on, and I think it's a rather pleasing effect. All the figures are pretty much there. They've had all the work done. See if we can find. See this dude's in pretty good condition. So they're all tidied up, and they're all sat there ready to hold their bulb holders. Now as for lights, the original lights were a set of 20. Unusually for these lights and these lights of the era, they were a circular set. What I mean by circular set is, on a traditional set of lights, you have your plug, and both cables come out of the plug, and they're braided together, and the whole set goes in a straight line. The cable comes out, braided all the way along, goes to the end and comes back again. And the last bulb on the set is where they loop through, and it's braided all the way, so it's all in a straight line. The circular sets, you have your plug, one cable comes out, and it loops around back into the light again. They are not braided together, and you just have your lights on the string like this, which is unusual for a set of screw-in lights. In the 90s they cheaped out, and to save some money on cable they did circular sets rather than having them braided and save about 6 foot of cable. But olive cone lights and figural lights, they were also circular sets. They were only a set of 12, so they were a little bit easier to manage, but these are a bit of a pain. And the other set that I have that is complete is permanently on a tree, and I extended the cable from one end to braid the whole set of lights so it goes in a straight line. It's a rather tedious process, but well worth it to give them some modern functionality. Anyway, back to these. I needed a set of lights for these. They needed to be a set of 20, of course, clear cable, and I did have a look for a screw-in set, but they were going for silly money at the time, and sometimes they still are. But as a compromise, I found these. This is a low voltage set of 20 clear lights. They are very similar in dimensions to the original Pierrot and Snowman lights. Very thin gauge cable, because when it's low voltage it doesn't have to be the thick black cable. It's thin like the old lights were. They're white. They do come with an obscene amount of extra cable, but that can be trimmed down to something a bit more suitable. Comes with an adapter. And for aesthetic reasons, these were ideal. And these were about £5 posted, because they're not really worth anything. These kind of lights you would normally see on paper lantern lights or outdoor garden lights, or as we've recently been seeing, pagoda lights. So if you're needing to restore a set of lights similar to these, then these will be ideal. So here's our end light, and for example, we've got our little dude. He'll wrap his little pipe cleaner around and get it back to full working restored order, and I don't think that looks too bad. Some of these lights come with these little retainer rings so they can be attached to a tree. I think we're getting somewhere with it. As for colours, could leave them clear. They wouldn't look too bad clear. Now the original lights come with multicoloured bulbs, red, blue, green, etc. But when I restored my original set, I stripped all the bulbs down and repainted them, but I left the Snowman bulb holders clear, red bulbs for the red Pierrots, and green bulbs for the green Pierrots, and they look really smart. I will do a follow-up video of that tree with the restored set on. I'll do that in a future video. But just some light assembly required for these lights. They're about 70% there. All the hard, tedious work's been done. Actually, talking about the colours, here's some of the original bulbs inside. You see we've got purple, red, there's some clear ones in there. There's a red and a yellow here. And there's a very tiny stubby fuse bulb. Look at the size of that. Got some spares out of it. But yeah, that's just a little update on this project. It was supposed to be these for the previous Pierrot and Snowman video, but we ended up with another complete set. I've got this is in total, I've got the original set I bought and restored. I've got this set that I bought to restore from scratch, and then I found another two sets for £22, complete pretty much. In fact, I've got them close at hand. This is the other set that's going to need a little bit of work. These ones are faded. You can see how badly faded these ones are compared to these ones, but these ones are not as bad. These ones were like gold. And then the green is not too bad, as you can see, and they have the coloured bulbs in. But as for the bulb holders, that's not too bad of a match. Yes, these are modern pushing bulbs, but I think for the fact that you just can't go out and buy spare strings for these lights, I think it wasn't too bad of a choice. That's it for this one. We'll do another video when we finish these off and figure out what we're going to do with them. I don't know if I'll probably have to keep them, because I don't think anybody is interested in some cat-chewed, semi-restored lights that aren't on the original strings, but hey-ho. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know we didn't see any lights lit up. Oh, in fact, it should be a rule. Can't do a video unless there's some lights in it, I suppose. So, plug the adapter in. And there you go. There's the lights lit up. Flicker and all. They're nice and bright for low voltage lights. But yeah, anyway, I'll catch you on the next one.